Have you ever noticed how someone can stay in your mind even when there is no communication with them, no messages, no real presence in your life anymore? And it can be confusing because you're not trying to think about them, you're not reaching out, you're not even sure you want them back in your life, and yet they keep showing up. If that's happening to you, there is a reason, and it might not be the one that you think. Hi everyone, I'm Esther. If this topic already feels familiar to you, please give the video a like. It helps more people to find the conversation. All right, I want to talk to you about something very human, common, and often misunderstood. Because when someone lingers in your mind, often people tend to jump to conclusions like the relationship is faded, or it's a longing of that person, unfinished love. But most of the time, it's something much quieter and something much more solvable. When someone stays in your thoughts without contact, it doesn't automatically mean that you are meant to be together. And it doesn't mean that you are stuck, and it certainly doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. Often it simply means that the connection, the relationship that you had with this person touched something meaningful inside of you. Maybe in that relationship you felt seen in a way that you hadn't before. Maybe you were more yourself around them, and maybe that connection represented a version of you that felt alive, hopeful, or understood for the very first time. And when something like that ends without clarity, the mind just doesn't know where to put that relationship and situation, so it keeps it close, quietly close, always there on your mind. And sometimes the reason someone keeps showing up in your mind isn't because you still want them. It isn't because you're meant to go back to them. It's because something never got to finish. There was no real ending, no clarity, no closure, no moment when your system could fully exhale and say, okay, I understand what happened here. And when you don't get that closure, the mind keeps the door to the relationship slightly open. Not because you're weak, but because the nervous system doesn't like loose ends. And your mind with the nervous system keeps replaying the person, the conversations, the moments over and over, hoping quietly that one day it will all make sense. That's what an unfinished emotional loop feels like. And it can happen whether the relationship was a healthy one or not. It can happen even when you know the relationship is over and you haven't spoken in a long time. Your mind really isn't asking for contact, it's asking for completion. And that is a very important distinction, because completion doesn't come from having another conversation with that person. It comes from you understanding what that connection meant, what it stirred up in you, what it awakened, what it's trying to change in you, and what part of you is ready to move forward now. Now, this is where it's best to gently turn inward. And instead of asking, why am I still thinking about them? A more helpful question becomes, what did this connection show me about myself? Was it showing you your capacity to feel more deeply, your desire for emotional safety, your readiness for something more honest and mutual? Sometimes the person isn't the message. They were simply a doorway to your growth and awareness. And here's something important to hear. You don't need to reopen that door to close the emotional loop. You don't need answers from them to give yourself peace and closure. Clarity doesn't always come from the outside. It often comes from inside: self-respect, reflection, allowing yourself to integrate the learning that the experience gave you. Sometimes when understanding begins to form, the mind can start to loosen its grip. Not forcefully, it just softens over time, and that's a really good thing. Now, if this message resonates with you, I'd love to hear from you. Who came to mind while you were watching? Because I know someone did. It did for me. And what do you think that connection was trying to show you? Please share it in the comments below if it feels right. I reply back to the comments more than you might think. And if this message brought something into focus for you and you're finding yourself wanting more clarity, not just insight, but real emotional healing and integration, this is the kind of work that I do with people privately. If you would like support untangling emotional patterns, releasing limiting beliefs, strengthening your self-worth, or finally finding peace in any situation that lingers in your mind, you can find details about working with me in the description box below. I have been guiding people through their inner work for over 21 years, and I can help you too. If we haven't worked together before, email me first and we can discuss the best next step for you. And if you want to stay with this topic a little bit longer, the video appearing on your screen right now is a lovely complement to what we have talked about here today. I'll meet you there.